Here's another question from the Geico Savings Mailbag.
Jason from Buffalo writes, I have a habit of hitting snooze and not being able to get up again. Any suggestions?
You know, if you get Geico to help with your renter's insurance, it's quite easy, really. You'll know you're protecting your stuff for as little as $12 a month, which I suspect will make you sleep much sounder. Then you'll just pop out of bed rested, ready to start your day.
What he's saying is, a renter's policy is basically insurance for your snooze button.
Plus most everything else you own.
Visit geico.com to see how affordable renter's insurance can be.
Welcome back to La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. That's Kristin Towers Rowles over there. I'm Brett Chapin, and we're talking today to the lovely and talented Kristen Hansen of IWillLoveTheSeries.com. If you have any questions for Kristen, make sure you give us a call at 1-800-336-2225. That's 1-800-336-2225. And thanks so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me back.
No problem. Well, we got a really great response from people last week. They were pretty interested in your subject matter. It's not something that's normally a subject that's dealt with a whole lot. If you could remind everybody kind of what I Will Love the Series is about.
Yeah, sure, of course. I Will Love the Series is about a young woman who moves back home after a bad bout, I should say, in living on the East Coast, and she comes back to LA, Los Angeles, where she's from. And the first episode, she's at the breakfast scene, a pretty intense breakfast scene, and it's just hard coming back to your family for the first time after 5 years living at home. And they basically tell her this dark secret that comes out, is flubbed out, and that she was actually born a hermaphrodite, and she had no idea. And so, like I said from last week, it becomes this kind of a big revelation, and it becomes kind of a search for identity that she goes on, and yeah.
Okay, excellent. What do you think drew you to this particular role? Do you think it was the challenge of dealing with that subject matter, or was it the humor in the piece?
I think it was more of the humor of the piece. I mean, when I was writing it, I said, there's something about hitting rock bottom. For instance, when I came back home, I felt really like I let myself down. Like I couldn't. There was no place that I could go further. I couldn't hit anything further than that. And I think in some ways my subconscious manifested this woman who's told that, and to me that was like a big kind of metaphor for me, and so that's where she is in the beginning. And so I just think that her character just, builds that self-esteem, and it's called I Will Love. And I chose that title because I think the will is one of the most important words in that. I think the will stands out because I think so much of us is trying to will something into existence. And that's a big aspect of it, is trying to find love for yourself. Sure. Rather than, trying to, I will do it, as opposed to naturally finding the peaceful progression of it. And, the things that we learn through the course of challenges that make us love ourselves. And so that's kind of where it is too. And the really kind of cool thing that sets, I think, my web series apart, or maybe, I don't know, I haven't done enough research about what other web series are out there, but it's shot on 2 different cameras. So when she comes back home to her brother, who's about 24, younger, and he wants to go into film school. He's kind of like a film geek. But let me just say that he's discovered that he wants to go into film school. So he has his own cheap little camera. And so part of the breakfast scene, which is kind of cool, is that he is taping his family through his little cheap camera that his parents have gotten because he's interested. And so we're splicing together the footage that is shot on the Sony F3, which is a very nice camera, and then his footage that he captures. And so part of the progression is that he is looking for his film project, and with this discovery at the breakfast table, he makes it a point or learns that he wants his sister to be his film project, and you learn that as the series goes on, and yeah, so wow. He's a big part of it too.
I love that idea because you're seeing it through his point of view as well as the story's point of view.
Right.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Super creative.
Yeah, so we're keeping those tapes. We're keeping, the camera that he has is a small little rinky-dinky Canon that you would have found in the 80s. So that is actually on a tape. So we have this tape box that is Dan. His name is, the actor who plays his name is Dan. His tapes, and so we're keeping them as the series is going. And it's going to probably take about like 6 or 7 months for us to get this series going because we have to go on Kickstarter, raise the money. But we're keeping it. And we got to review all that footage that he is shooting on his camera by himself when we're not rolling or rolling.
Yeah.
So it's really fun.
That sounds like a blast.
It's a really creative way to do it.
Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very
Good
cool.
stuff, huh,
Yeah,
Kristen?
I love it. I love it. I love all this new technology that's taking over how we view media.
Right, and I think the kind of cool thing about us, I'm getting a sense, is that we're a product of like the 80s, and
I don't know what you're
should speak-
talking about.
I should speak for myself, but I'm a huge 80s. But I mean, I love the movies that take place in the 80s. I love the songs. So in some ways, his bad camera, you see the progression of him going from a really bad director. I'm talking about the character here. The character's name is Jake, played by Dan. You see that he is starting off trying to zoom in on, trying to find, and as the web series progresses, you find him actually becoming very aware of his aesthetic and becoming a better director. And part of the gags too is he's wearing really bad like director T-shirts, like like ones where you're just like, really, and so he starts developing his own identity. Which I think is kind of cool, but the fact that I said 80s is because I'm looking also for bands specifically covering music from the 80s that I'd like to kind of put in there, so it has very kind of a hipster 80s feel too. So
That's great.
We're always looking for bands to cover.
So are you
different
taking
episodes.
submissions of
Yes,
songs
it's
from
on our
bands?
website. Yeah, iwilllovetheseries.com. We're looking for bands. Like right now, I found a great "Take on Me" Aha cover, which I love.
Very nice.
Who doesn't?
That's
What a
my
cool
ringtone.
song to use
That's my
in your-
ringtone
in your
graduate
movie.
school. It's a really long time.
So how does that work? If it's a cover, you don't pay royalties?
Well,
because it's
you
cover?
pay a less cost. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
it's still
and
a
you're getting
cost.
to showcase a new band.
New bands, and
Yeah.
as long as it has an 80s feel, I'm all about it. So
That's great.
Yeah, they can submit that to us.
Does your film take place in the 80s?
No. It takes place the here and the now. But I like to pay homage to the things that I kind of had a big influence on me.
Yeah, it's your film. You're allowed to do that.
Yeah, why
Darn
not?
it.
And all the people of our generation completely get into that. They love the 80s stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
definitely.
do.
It's huge, and it's making a comeback now.
I know.
Oh, I
No, it
know.
really
Plaid
has.
shirts are everywhere.
And now it's like
Yeah, jelly
it's
shoes.
oldies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? That's not oldies.
Yeah,
It's 80s.
yeah, anything
Ridiculous.
goes.
I know. I see 80s films on like AMC, American Movie Classics.
know.
Is that a classic yet? I
Yeah,
don't know.
no.
Not to me.
Well, we're in the age where films are now getting redone from the 80s, which I don't understand. It's
I don't
like,
either.
Just let it be.
Yeah.
And when they do
Great.
it shot for shot the same way as why?
Yeah,
You're not doing anything new with it. Why do it?
Yeah.
That's just me.
If
agree.
they try and remake The Breakfast Club, I mean, seriously, I hope that doesn't happen.
Sacrilege.
Yeah.
Sacrilegious, for sure.
Guys, we're talking with the talented Kristen Hansen of I Will Love the Series, iwilllovetheseries.com. Go ahead and give us a call, 1-800-336-2225 when we get back, because we're going to be talking to her a little bit more about I Will Love the Series. So we'll be back on La La Land with Brett and Kristen on CRN Digital Talk.
Looking at them